Hello, Andy.
Hey, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm not too bad. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks so much for taking time. I know you guys are busy. I appreciate you dropping a few things to take a few minutes to
no
talk.
problem, man. We're in the middle of nowhere.
Where'd you guys stay last night?
Well, we drove last night, and we drove to, I think we're somewhere outside Charlotte. So we're on our way to Atlanta.
Tuesday night, you guys are going to be at the Cowan with Local H. And how has the tour been going so far? I've seen online a lot of the dates are selling out. Like the Metro in Chicago, for instance, sold out. I saw. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's going great. I was just hanging out with the Local H guys, and it's a good pairing. And I don't know, we're playing a lot of new stuff, and it feels pretty good, actually. People seem to be actually enjoying it.
That's always a good thing. You know, Scott from Local H and I come from right around the same town, and he was always pretty wild on stage and off. Is he still pretty much the same?
That explains a lot.
Is he pretty wild still these days?
Oh, I'm kidding, but I'm sitting here with Ryan, his drummer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's Scott's an animal kind of like me. He's kind of, who knows why we do what we do, but we do it anyways.
Exactly. I love that. And the new record, Hurry Up and Wait's coming out April 17th. I've been loving all the singles I've been hearing. I've been spinning a lot of them on my show, too. I wanted to ask you, what's your thought on the way that music is consumed these days? The record's dropping on April 17th, so a lot of people will have it pre-saved and all that stuff on Spotify. What's your thoughts on the way people listen to music through Spotify and streaming? Are you guys big fans of that? Are you kind of anti that?
Well, personally, I still play records at home, and I am not on any interweb things. It's just not my thing. I don't need a binary robot to tell me what to listen to. On the other hand, it's fine. It's progress. I don't want to be that crusty old dude going, burr, the kids these days. That ain't me. So anyways, it's fine. And, we're out touring before our record comes out, which we used to do all the time. So back when we were on an independent label, we'd go out and we'd work the songs out kind of on the road. So, we're playing the new songs off our record before the record comes out, which is, I'm like, what do we, But it seems to be working out. Somebody told me it was the Wild West these days. Like, you just try anything and everything. So I guess I got 3 songs out, and the rest of the record's going to come out on April 17th. And I suppose if you like those songs, you probably like the rest of it. I don't know,
Absolutely.
You think about how music is presented to people, and it's just a circle that's like a web. That's like they used to just put out 45s, and now it's kind of more about singles too. So it's actually more like it was in the late 50s, So it does kind of go in a circle in a way. So
absolutely,
you can expect that.
Absolutely, man. This is your guys' first time playing the Cowan on Tuesday. We're talking to Dave Pirner of Soul Asylum. Has Nashville always been a frequent touring stop for you guys? Because a lot of bands I talk to tell me that they didn't really hit Nashville for a lot of years. They always went to Memphis instead. But now it seems like everybody's coming here. Has it always been a frequent stop for Soul Asylum?
One thing, Nashville is a mecca for a lot of people that I know. People from New Orleans and people from Minneapolis. It's a place where music is really part of the fiber of what's happening in that particular city. I love going to Broadway, and I love, the whole thing. I took my kid to the Country Music Hall of Fame when he was 6.
Oh, nice.
We had a pretty good time. So I love Nashville. I really enjoy it, and, I'm sure there's parts of my music that may sound like as appropriate to Nashville as it does to California or New York.
Yeah.
That's just, kind of rock and roll or whatever. But, in the meantime, what a great city. And I just spent 17 years living in New Orleans, and I love music cities. Memphis is a music city also. And that's where I get my pride from being not on the East Coast or the West Coast. We're kind of up and down the Mississippi, and that's where the heart of the beast lays, if you will.
Oh, no, I feel that, man. I totally feel that. Also, I wanted to ask you, too, I just saw a couple days ago, I kept seeing these commercials. I hadn't seen the Runaway Train 25 thing that was going on, but my Hulu kept playing this commercial, and I was like, is that Soul Asylum, a different version? What's your thoughts on that, the fact that they're doing that all these years later, and were you surprised that song has lasted and resonated with as many people as it has?
Well, it's interesting. I think the song resonates with people for a personal kind of a reason. And when Tony Kaye, the guy that directed the video, associated the Runaway situation with milk cartons and trying to find kids, that resonated. I mean, I can't imagine anything more screwed up than having your child taken away from you. Those resonated, and that is a positive thing, you know. So I was like, wow, that's cool. I mean, I listened to it, and I was like, oh, wow, who are these people? But I think it's a cause that, like, you know, if you can't get behind that cause, there's something seriously wrong with you.
No, it's very true. Very, very true. I've noticed you're also selling a book at your shows. I think it's going to be out in stores soon, but it's called Loud, Fast Words, and it's a collection of Soul Asylum lyrics and like kind of stories behind the songs. I think that is great. I've always thought, I'm not just saying this because you're on the phone, man, but I've always thought you were a very underrated lyricist. And so that's really cool. What was your idea to do that for? Just you wanted to get it out there? Were fans kind of demanding this?
Well, thank you for that. And I got a new manager, and he's like, "You want to make a book?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Well, what kind of book do you want to make?" And I'm like, "Well, not one of those books about being on the road." I mean, when I read On the Road by Jack Kerouac, I had already been on tour so much, it seemed redundant. So, you know, I mean, being on the road it's my life, okay? But it's not that interesting. I hate to break it to everybody. But I was like, yeah, I want to make a book with just my lyrics in it. And then, you know, I comment on each song or whatever, but, you know, I like to put the music first. And if it looks good on paper, hopefully it sounds even better with music.
Absolutely.
But, yeah, you know, it's my life's work. The book starts with our first record and ends with the record that's not even out yet. And yeah, that's what I do, I guess.
No, I'm excited to check it out. Talking to Dave Pirner from Soul Asylum. I've got one more question, man, before, and I'll let you go do your thing. Again, I appreciate you taking time to sit down and have a conversation with me.
Yeah, no problem.
One of my favorite Soul Asylum records is it's a live record that came out in 2004, but it's from 97. It's called After the Flood, live at the Grand Forks Prom. And I've always heard that was because the school had a flood and they got to pick a band to come play. And if people out there aren't familiar with that record, you guys do all kinds of really out there covers on the record, and you play a bunch of your hits too. How weird was that playing a prom? Because I've always wondered when I listen to that.
That's a really good question, and of course, you know, we'll take a gig, and especially if it's for a good cause.
Yeah.
And it was a great cause. And, you know, the band let's put it this way, the kids that were at the prom, the music that they were listening to was Hanson. And I thought, oh, let's play some like dance music that people can dance to. I can't explain how interesting the whole thing was, because it was like, oh, that's so great. You guys are coming to, you know, help out. And we're like, you goddamn right we're coming to help out. And then it's like a bunch of kids that are Hanson fans looking at me and my band on stage going, what? And then we played like I Can See Clearly Now. And that was actually placed in a movie that high school kids went to, so they responded to that.
Okay.
And I didn't know, you know. So we were just kind of spitballing, and, you know, the kids were, I don't know. I mean, you went to high school. There'd be a cover band playing at the prom, or there'd be whoever, but it's hard to book a band for a prom.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I'm sure most of it is DJs these days, but, you know,
absolutely.
I saw some good live music from bands that were terrible, and, you know, by my senior year in high school, the Suburbs played my prom, and they were like my favorite local band. I don't know so much about it, you know, it was a long time ago.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. It is a great live record. I think it really showcases that's your guys' live show, which is amazing, but then the covers you guys took on and made your own. I was actually thinking of, I think it was Dion Ferris, you covered the I Know What You're Doing big hit, and I was like,
song.
Yeah, totally great song. Go see Soul Asylum. They're playing at the Cowan on Tuesday with Local H. Check out the record Hurry Up and Wait, comes out April 17th. The book Loud, Fast Words will be out soon, but it's available at shows. And Dave, I really appreciate you taking a second to call in, man. It means a lot.
Right on, Andy. I appreciate your time, too. Thank you, man.
No, of course, man. I'll see you on Tuesday.
All right, man.
All right, see you.
Take it easy.